Hello and welcome to the next Lukozer retro game review video, and for this one it is supercars. Here we go from super truckers to supercars. This was released in 1991 by Gremlin Graphics. Now, I am not the biggest fan of Gremlin Graphics, and I will freely admit that it's entirely down to two releases. The first being Bounder, which was a fucking shitfest of the highest order, and the second was Zool. And the less said about that fucking sack of cunt, the better. So, Gremlin Graphics are one of those publishers who need to do something pretty impressive in order for me to overlook the shit that they were responsible for. Yes, I freely admit that there is no reason for me to be biased against this game when you consider that Zool hadn't been released at the time. So I'll try and put them out of my mind. So this is the main title page, and if you move the cursor around and click on the various cars, you get the various stats on them. Now you start in the slowest car of all, surprise surprise, which is the Type 1 Tarraco Neo Roader. Yeah, okay. Now there are two other sections to this title page, but I'll show them, actually no, I will show them now. So the first is the car lot. So here we can buy any of the improved cars. As you can see, they are somewhat expensive. So the most expensive, or the cheapest one rather, $59,995. Yeah, I'm not even halfway to be able to afford that. And the most expensive, $219,995. So yeah. Can't really do much with any of those. The next option is the garage. Now in the garage here, so you can buy any of these improvements to your car: power steering, turbocharger, high speed kit, retro, which is basically better brakes, spin assist. Yeah, you certainly don't need that for the first couple of races. Front and rear missiles and side armour. You can also fix the various parts of the car that need doing. You look down the bottom here, you see these 4 bars for engine, body, fuel and tyre. After each race they all gather wear, and you will need to fix them up at some point. Again, you don't need to worry too much about that for the first couple of races. Now, apparently there is a cheat mode which is enabled from this screen. I think it has something to do with fondling her tits or something. That's what I read anyway. Don't know if that's true or not, but anyway. Right, well I won't bother putting anything, in the way of upgrades on the car yet, because track 1 is quite easy. So he starts in class 1, track 1 here, away we go. And after the rather impressive title page, so as you can see, it is yet another of these sort of super sprint style games. This one though scrolls, it's not just on a static single screen layout. Now this game had an Amiga version as well as a 64. The Amiga version is apparently a lot more difficult, or perhaps I should say the Amiga version is at least challenging. The 64 version is fairly easy. I've never finished worse than second in any race, although I've never, you know, played the game really long. I think I've only ever done like the first 5 tracks. I certainly don't see me doing more than that in this video. So each race is, well, it says 5 laps, but I think you only have to do 4, because lap 1 is the lap that you start on. So there we go, we won that. There we go. So race 1, position 1, max speed, average speed, best lap time, and the prize. So we got 20,000 for that. So we've doubled our cash to 40,000. Still can't buy any cars yet. In fact, you can't buy any cars until you get to at least class 2. Every time I go into the into here, regardless of whether I can afford a car or not, it always says, okay, a wide selection, sir. I can give you 24,518 for your old motor, bringing the total cost of the new car to 35,477. Okay, so it looks like I did get a new car. Yeah. Well, that's never worked before. And, alright, it means that obviously my 4, you know, perishable parts here have now been reset because I have a new car. It does also mean that I can't really do a great deal as far as buying any upgrades. Thankfully, track 2, you really don't need any. So let's get the next race underway. So this new car that I'm in does certainly shift. It is a lot faster than the previous one. But then the previous car was plenty good enough to win on this circuit. Oh, you can't. Well, fuck that. I am not usually particularly good at these sort of racing games, but then these are not the sort of racing games that usually grab my interest. That green patch there, whatever the fuck it is, it slows you down. I mean, really slows you down if you drive over it. Later on you get other patches which spin you round, and actually that green patch there is one. You'll spin round if you drive over that. Fuck's sake. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you just saw that computer controlled car there spun round as I've now lapped. Well, I did lap him until I drove right across that slow part. But there we go. So that's race 2 finished and won. So I get another 20,000 for that. Yeah, that'll do. Right, let's take a look at the garage. So I mean, I can sort out these now. You can see the various prices for them. But to be honest, I don't really need to. Yeah, they're still fine for another race, maybe even 2 races. But I will get the power steering. These upgrades that you buy, they only last for 1 race. So yeah, I'll be using it for track 3, but I won't be, you know, it will be used up then. So for track 4, if I want power steering, I have to buy it again. So here we go. This track is a bit on the twisty side, which is why I wanted the power steering, and as you can see it's really helped. So I'll plough into the back of that cunt, and I'm fucking hitting every fucking corner there is. Right, so I'm ahead of one. Oh, fuck's sake. So what was it I was saying earlier about this race, this game being fairly easy, and now I mean, I could say, oh yes, because I'm not used to the car, which I'm not. This car is a lot faster than I am used to in this game, but that just makes it sound like I'm making up excuses. At this rate, I'll be lucky if I finish in third, let alone you know, first or second, which is normally where I finish. Well, I'm in second now, but the first place car is a long fucking way ahead. And even though I go in a straight line a damn sight faster, I still don't think I'm going to catch him. Especially if I drive over that fucking thing. So where is he? Okay. He's not as far ahead as I thought he was, but he's still far enough ahead. God, I don't know how the fuck I got away with that. Right, so on to the final lap, and we moved into first place, but can we stay there? Well, we're doing okay so far. There we go. I think that rather demonstrates that this version of this game is somewhat easy. The Amiga version, I would never have got away with that. So cash is now on 42,523. So what I will get for this next one, I think I'll get the power steering again. I'll also get the front and rear missiles just to show those things off. Let's also, I think I'm still okay for all of these, but you know, I'll sort them out anyway. We go on to track 4. Now to fire the missiles, you push forward to fire the forward one, there you go, and that car is now out of the race. And then to fire the rear firing one, obviously you pull back. It's fire button to accelerate. Well, obviously to use the rear firing one, I have to get in front of the fucking car. Ah, you fucking... So yeah, this fucking thing is now completely blocking the road. And as you can also see there, the AI, such as it is, on the computer controlled cars is pretty useless. That other car is just going to continue smashing into the car that stopped. And yeah. It will eventually get going again, as you can see it has done, but it's pushed the the other car right up there. So I'm currently in second. Looks like I'm not going to get the chance to use that rear missile because I'm so far ahead now of third place. But I'm also way behind the leader, so I think second is where I'm going to finish, except the leader has got himself stuck behind that car again. So that allowed me to catch up. See if I can get ahead of him and then use the rear missile. You fucking prick! Right, well I do drive faster than him, especially when he goes over that rough part there. Right. Fucking hell. This is lap 4, so one more lap to do after this. It is pretty close. But that's because I keep driving into the fucking side. Okay, for some reason it wasn't letting me use the rear missile. I mean, I've got it fitted and I was pulling down, but no, it wouldn't let me do it. Don't know what was happening there. But I definitely bought the two of them. Yeah, it's not doing anything, and there we go, so I'll win that one again. So another 20,000, you get 10,000 per second. I haven't got a clue what you get for any of the other finishing positions because I've never finished worse than second. Right, so cash is back up to 40,173. Don't think that's enough for the next car. I'll have a look. No, definitely isn't. Yeah, so stop wasting my time, even with the trading price. Blah, 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 blah. That's what it always says. Well, every other time I played it, but for some reason it didn't this time. Right, so let's fix her up. What can we get then in the way of right, power steering? I'll get. Let's try high speed and turbocharger. So we got quite a few decent ones there. I've no idea actually if you need them for this race or not. Probably not actually, but here we go. It looks like there's another car on the track now. Get out of the fucking way, there we go. So let's get the review underway then, shall we? Graphically, I think the graphics on the title page are great. I mean, they look fine. In game, they are staggeringly fucking bland. Oh, fuck off. Yeah, they don't look that great at all. Very basic, yeah, graphics all round, not just your car. So I spin on that fucking. I think it's meant to be an oil patch, but for some reason it's green. It looks more like a fucking patch of nuclear waste or something. So yeah, yeah, the title page and the graphics on the, you know, the screens in the car lot and in the garage, they are pretty good as well. It's just the actual game itself. The graphics here are pretty crap actually. In terms of audio, the music, which is by Ben Daglish, it starts off pretty rough, but it does get better as it goes on. So I don't mind it. It's not amazing, but it's okay. Is that me in the lead now? No, that's me lapping another car. I think this green fucker is the leader. But I'm only going to finish second. There we go. So yes, to continue. Yeah, the The music I think's fine. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to bother any upgrades. Let's just jump straight to track 6. Where the audio really takes a fucking nosedive is in the game again. This engine sound, car engine sound, is fucking awful. It really does sound like you are driving, you know, ride on fucking lawnmower. It's terrible. It really is fucking shite. The other sound effects are basic, but you know, functional, I suppose. They do the job. They're not amazing. Well, they are amazing when you compare them to the engine sound of the cars, but that's about it. And the gameplay, I guess this really is one of those games where, you know, if you are a fan of the fucking, yeah, the tyre score is pretty unimpressive as well. If you're a fan of something like Super Sprint, and obviously, you know, the 1,000,001 fucking copies that came along, then yeah, there's a good chance you may like this one. It's a bit easy. So if you want a game that's a challenge, this is probably not for you. I was about to say, the rate I'm going, this could be the first time I felt finishing the top 2, but yeah. I seem to be doing okay now. As much as I hate the engine sound in this game, it's certainly a downside will prefer all those fucking motorcycle cunts outside. So we're on to lap 4, one more lap to go. So yeah, I mean, it's not the most challenging game you're ever going to play. But I don't think it necessarily suffers from that. I find that with a lot of this sort of racing game, they make it stupidly fucking difficult, and it gets really annoying as a result. Cunt. I don't think he's going to pass me for 3rd. I think that's the leader coming round to lap me. Yeah, he is. So there we go. So I finished 2nd again. So I'm definitely going to need a better car, I think, if I want to have any chance of winning any more races. So anyway, I think that will do for this one. I did say I wasn't going to show that many tracks, and here I am, I've done 6. The game's okay. But if you want more of a challenge, then from what I hear, the Amiga version is probably better. But then again, if you want more of a challenge, you'll probably be playing something like Slicks, which I find way too fast. I'm fucking hopeless at that one. I don't like it, I find it way too difficult. With this one being easier, I do enjoy playing this one more, but yeah, that's more to do with how shit I am at this type of game. So yeah, one that's noticeably easier than all the rest, yeah, that'll be the one I play. So I score this 6 out of 10. If you overlook the staggeringly bland and basic graphics in the actual game itself, rather than, you know, the presentation screens here, then yeah, and also the staggeringly awful audio within the actual game, the car engine sound is terrible. Overlook all that, it's quite a playable yeah, it's quite a playable game. it's probably not going to challenge fans of this particular racing game genre. So yeah, I mean, I recommend it, but I recommend it to people like me who will play this sort of game on occasion, but not the sort of people who will play it over and over again. They will fucking breeze through this no problem. So I score it 6 out of 10. Yeah, you may want to give this one a look. So that is Supercars then for Commodore 64, released by Gremlin Graphics. 6 out of 10 for that one. That brings this review to an end, and we will see you at the next one.